Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. Okay, got a scenario for you. You're representing a seller and you get an offer, but it's not on a standard form. Or maybe you're mid-transaction, you get a response in a non-standard form. This can happen a lot, not a lot, but probably more commonly if it's say vacant land. If it's unimproved land, you might get a developer who's not represented. You might get a real estate agent who's not a realtor. And they may come in with different forms that maybe their company has developed. Maybe they have had their attorneys develop the buyer. What do you do? What can you do? Well, I think one of the greatest benefits you bring as a realtor, maybe not the greatest, but one of the great benefits you bring as a realtor is your access to a forms library and your expertise in these forms. And so what do you do when you get a form that's not one of the standard forms? Well, first of all, you can, in the best interest of your own client, request that the form be used. You could send back the same concept in a counteroffer on a form that's part of the regular forms library. There's nothing that says you have to use or accept the form that they've sent to you. You can request, let's use this form. We like this wording better. It's no different than going back and forth about particulars of language in a specific, like a blank addendum. You could just say, we'd prefer you use this. And nothing wrong with that. You're representing your client's best interest at that point. Other than that, you got to kind of step back and say, do I want to be responsible for interpreting this? And if it's convoluted, I've seen, in my career, I've seen, not just in the real estate world, but just in the legal world, forms that purportedly came from attorneys that I couldn't make heads or tails of. They were just so convoluted, couldn't tell, half of it's in Latin, don't know what it's saying. And I kind of, one instance, went back and just rewrote the whole thing myself, said, I don't know what this is. But you don't have to do that. You've got standard forms to fall back on that cover almost every scenario you find yourself in. There are a lot of forms. I think we're still under 100, but that's probably just because we delete some along the way. So yeah, always where you can, I would advise. For myself, I would use a standard form anywhere I could because they're predictable. We've been trained on them. They've been vetted. They've been out in use. They've been modified according to the feedback on the use of those. So wherever you can, do that, and there's nothing wrong with saying, let's start over with the form that's already written. Remember, this is not legal advice. This is legal information only. If you need specific legal advice, please contact your attorney. Thanks for tuning in.